Hello, today I'm going to give you my list of the 10 best FC Barcelona players in history. The 10th player on our list is Ronald Koeman. He is the greatest goal scorer as a defender of all time with over 250 goals. He joined FC Barcelona in 1989 and left in 1995. He is therefore a player of the great Barcelona team led by Johan Cruyff, who won the 1992 Champions League. He will be Barca's defense master throughout his spell in the Catalonian club. As a coach, he will train Barca in 2020, but unfortunately his second visit will be a total failure. He will leave the club the following year. We will remember this player as a gifted defender in both defense and attack, as well as on free kicks. The Brazilian right-back also experienced the club's prosperous period between 2008 and 2016. He will remain as one of the best right-backs in the world, and therefore in the Catalan club, in addition to continuing as Lionel Messi's faithful lieutenant by his number of decisive passes delivered to the Pulga. He won with the Barca II Champions League. He is probably the best right-back of all time. Samuel Eto'o is a Cameroonian international footballer and one of the greatest strikers in the history of Barca. Thanks to his dribbling, his hooks, and his fearsome finishing, he managed to earn a place among the best African players of all time. Whether in club or with the Cameroonian selection, he scored goals against the biggest teams in the world. Spotted at a very young age by Real Madrid, he played very little and found himself on loan to several Spanish clubs. In 2004, after winning the Spanish Cup with Mallorca, Eto'o joined FC Barcelona for 5 seasons. He notably won 3 times La Liga and 2 times the Champions League, and became one of the best players in the history of Barca. With Inter Milan, he won a new Champions League in 2010, as well as an Italian champion title. In addition to his club record, Eto'o is also very successful with Cameroon. In all, he took part in 4 final stages of the World Cup and 6 African Cups of Nations. Crowned Olympic champion in 2000, he also won the CAN twice in 2000 and 2002. Carles Puyol is a Spanish central defender who won the biggest trophies with FC Barcelona and the Spanish selection. Very physical and good in the aerial game despite his small size, he is a real leader on the field. Very precise in his interventions, he disgusted many attackers during his career. Trained at Barca, Puyol first played for the C and B teams before joining the main team in 1999. The Spanish defender would spend his entire career at the club and become one of the best players in the history of FC Barcelona. Among the many trophies he won during his career, we can mention 6 Spanish championships and 3 titles in the Champions League. Puyol ranks 5th among the club's most capped players with 593 games. The central defender of Barca also shines with the Spanish selection. He started in Spain's victories at Euro 2008 and the 2010 World Cup. Often decisive in defense, he can also unlock matches, such as during the World Cup semi-final against Spain. Germany, where he scored the only goal of the game. Carles Puyol is also part of our ranking of the best Spanish players of all time. Hristo Stoichkov is a Bulgarian international player and FC Barcelona legend. He is a very technical player, able to obliterate his opponents one by one thanks to his numerous feints and dribbles. Despite his reputation as a bad boy, Stoichkov remains one of the greatest players of the 90s. After debuting in the Bulgarian 3rd Division, the young striker quickly established himself at the CSKA Sofia club. He was notably crowned Bulgarian champion 3 times before joining Barca in 1990. It was with the Catalans that Stoichkov won the greatest titles, including 5 times La Liga, 2 times the King's Cup, a Cup, and a Champions League in 1992. With 117 goals scored in 254 games, he became one of the best players in the history of Barcelona. But Stoichkov is not only a Barca legend, he is also an idol in Bulgaria. With the Bulgarian selection, his greatest achievement remains the 1994 World Cup. During the competition, Bulgaria reached the semi-finals, and Stoichkov finished joint top scorer of the tournament. European Golden Boot in 1990 and Ballon d'Or in 1994, Hristo Stoichkov is one of the greatest strikers in the history of Barca. Ronaldinho is a Brazilian international player who marked an entire generation with his dribbling and his ball-to-foot creativity. A true magician of the round ball, his speed and ability to dribble past his opponents made him unique. Along with his passing quality, technique, and finishing, Ronaldinho is among the best free-kick takers of all time. The young Brazilian prodigy made his debut with Grêmio before joining PSG, where he revealed himself to Europe. In 2003, he joined FC Barcelona and demonstrated the full extent of his talent. He won La Liga twice, as well as a Champions League in 2006, and even received a standing ovation from Madrid fans during a Clásico. It is simply impossible to rank the best players in the history of Barca without mentioning Ronaldinho. His talent also did not go unnoticed in his native country, where he quickly joined the ranks of the Brazilian national team. Ronaldinho scored 33 goals in 97 caps and notably won the World Cup in 2002 alongside Ronaldo and Rivaldo. He is also one of the best Brazilian players in history. Andres Iniesta is a legendary attacking midfielder for the Barcelona club. A very versatile player, the Spaniard has an excellent vision of the game, which allows him to easily combine with his opponents. Thanks to his game intelligence, passing quality, and technique, Iniesta is one of the best attacking midfielders in history. A pure product of La Masia, FC Barcelona's training center, Iniesta has spent the vast majority of his career at the club. Between 2002 and 2018, he played 675 games and scored 57 goals for Barca. The Spanish player will win an impressive number of trophies with the Catalans. Among others, we can name 9 Spanish championships, 6 Copa del Rey victories, and 4 Champions League victories. Andres Iniesta is not only one of the best players in the history of FC Barcelona, but he is also a Spanish international player. He is one of the major architects of the coronation of Spain in 3 major international competitions in a row: Euro 2008, the 2010 World Cup, and Euro 2012. Xavi Hernandez is a Spanish midfielder, one of the best players of the 21st century. Best known for his passing quality, he is the conductor of FC Barcelona. Xavi is also one of the best passers in the history of football. Indispensable in club as in selection, it can also be decisive in front of the goals, even if it scores little. Trained at FC Barcelona, Xavi will very quickly become an indisputable holder at the club and shine alongside Iniesta and Messi in particular. With 767 games in 17 seasons at Barca, he is the second most capped player in the history of the club. The Spanish midfielder won, among other things, the Spanish Championship 8 times, the King's Cup 3 times, and the Champions League 4 times with the Catalans. He is still considered one of the best players in the history of Barca today. With the Spanish selection, Xavi also has many successes. As for Barca, he is the second most capped player in the Spain team, with 133 games on the clock. Above all, he won Euro 2008 and 2012, as well as the 2010 World Cup, with what is certainly the most beautiful Spanish team of all time. Johan Cruyff is a Dutch international striker who is often regarded as one of the greatest players of all time. At the same time, very technical but also physical despite his frail physique, Cruyff was the prototype of the modern player. Very good passer, he was also a fine finisher, but above all one of the best dribblers of all time. The young Dutch player trained at Ajax Amsterdam, where he made his professional debut. In all, he won the Dutch Championship 8 times and the Champions League 3 times with Ajax before joining Barca. In Spain, he won the Championship and the King's Cup with the Catalans and left an indelible mark on Spanish football. Cruyff becomes one of the best players in the history of FC Barcelona. In selection, the Dutch player is also very successful. He managed to reach the final of the 1974 World Cup and the semi-finals of the European Nations Championship in 1976. The Dutch team, then considered the best team in the world, did not win any titles. After his playing career, Johan Cruyff became one of the greatest managers in football history.
Ja cap a la dreta per Xavi, assistència de Xavi més cap a la dreta per Messi, Messi, immens Messi, encara 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 Messi, gol, 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 gol,
Number one in our ranking of the best players in the history of FC Barcelona could only be Lionel Messi. The Argentine has become, in recent years, one of the greatest footballers in history. Incredibly talented and creative with the ball, Messi is a formidable dribbler, able to easily get past the best defenses in Europe. As well as being blessed with an unrivaled passing game, he is also one of the all-time top scorers. Trained at Barca, Lionel Messi has spent almost his entire career in his training club. He certainly became the best player in the history of FC Barcelona. Messi is the club's most capped player, with 778 games played, and easily the top scorer in Barca's history, with 672 goals scored. The Argentinian player has won all the biggest trophies, including 10 La Liga titles, 7 times the Copa del Rey, and 4 times the Champions League. With the Argentine selection, Messi had more difficulty winning titles. He finally won his first major international title in 2021 with the Copa America. In 2014, he also reached the World Cup final, but Argentina lost to Germany. It was in 2022 that he finally obtained the long-awaited title, victory in the World Cup with Argentina.
Everything about you resonates happiness. Now I won't settle for less. Give me all that peace and everything about you pains my